Some of y'all have hobbies that make the rest of us go, oh, that's cool, I guess. No judgments, and we'd never say it out loud to your face, but maybe behind your back. I mean, we're only human. Now, everyone has a right to be their authentic self and shouldn't be discouraged just because some of us are judgy. You be you. Embrace your non-traditional interests, don't mind us. But that said, here are 11 hobbies that might make people raise their eyebrows, even if they'd never admit it. And if one of these things is your thing, don't worry, we still love you. We're just watching from a safe distance. Number 1, collecting dolls. Now, it is a simple fact that most dolls are haunted by the disembodied spirits of Victorian children who died of consumption. That is just science. And yet you collect them and keep them in your house? You all know what happened to the handler of Annabelle, right? No judgments, but if I walk into your house and see 100 porcelain eyes staring at me from a shelf, I'm leaving. It will be as if I was never even there. Now, if doll collecting makes you happy, who are we to tell you not to do it? But if weird things start happening in your home, don't say we didn't warn you. Number 2, listening to ASMR. You ever see someone with their headphones in looking deeply relaxed and you're like, oh, they must be meditating, and then it turns out they're actually listening to someone whisper into a mic while tapping their fingernails on a pickle jar? ASMR stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, and it describes the way that certain sounds can trigger a pleasant tingling sensation in some people on the back of the scalp, neck, and upper spine. Even those who don't get a tingling sensation, a phrase I never want to say ever again, often find it relaxing and helpful with stress or even insomnia. But some of us just don't really get the allure of girlies constantly tapping their fingernails on a microphone. But hey, to each their own. Number 3, writing fan fiction. You're the type who's rewritten Twilight about 83 times as a big city romantic drama where Edward owns a bakery and Bella is in a punk band and they do a lot more than make cakes together, if you know what I mean. And listen, once again, do what makes you happy. But given how fanfic does have a tendency to nearly always lapse into the, let's say, outre sides of life, 50 Shades of Grey, anyone? Your dedication to your AO3 account is gonna raise some eyebrows. Yeah, we're judging, but we're also 18 chapters deep into that one you wrote where Jacob turns up as the neighborhood dog walker and does things with a leash that would frighten a veterinarian, so don't let our judgment stop you. Number 4, watching competitive eating videos. Sure, food challenges and mukbangs are oddly satisfying in that can't look away from a car crash sort of way. But when you're actively choosing to watch a grown man inhale a mountain of shrimp at 3 a.m., babe, what's the story? People either love these or feel kind of disturbed by them, and there's really no in between. And if you start describing your favorite competitive eater like they're a Marvel superhero, we're gonna worry. Number 5, playing video games. This one's kind of controversial because video games themselves are great and interesting and full of some really incredible art and storytelling. But, you know, some of you video game folks are a little intense. Playing for an hour or two after work to unwind or having a friendly tournament on the weekend with some friends is one thing. But if you're 38 and at risk of losing your job because you're up playing Fortnite in your basement until 3 a.m. every day, well, if you've named all your Sims after your exes and slowly remove all the pool ladders, yikes. And this is a very real thing. Studies have found that those who feel frustrated that their psychological needs aren't being met are actually at higher risk for what's called internet gaming disorder. Yes, it's an actual condition. There's gaming and then there's gaming so much that you're missing out on actual life. Sometimes it just raises some red flags. Number 6, antiquing. Antiquing sounds classy. It has a show on PBS, only the cultured antique. And there's nothing wrong with salvaging a vintage dress or a piece of furniture or a keepsake that reminds you of the past. But sometimes the volume of antiques can get to be a bit much. One dusty mirror is charming, 17 broken typewriters, a bunch of old clocks, some Mima's entire collection of china and silverware, and a closet overflowing with old coats. Well, babe, frankly, it's no longer giving Antiques Roadshow, it's giving hoarders. Plus, antiquing is often the gateway drug to collecting the aforementioned haunted dolls. So, you know, let's try to have some moderation. Number 7, debating strangers online. Look, I get it. Basically, everyone's wrong on the internet all the time, and how will they learn if you don't go yell at them? I don't know, man. Spending your evenings arguing with CryptoDaddy47 in a Reddit thread about parking laws is honestly kind of a weird use of your valuable time. It's also usually pointless. Countless studies have shown that we humans are actually terrible at changing our minds, even when we're proven wrong. And we're even worse at it online. That's part of why our world is now broken. If you're learning and using debate to spread knowledge and find common ground, great. But arguing with strangers on the internet for the sake of yelling at some rando whose opinion won't change? Maybe put the phone down and touch some grass. Number 8, befriending AI. Using AI to help write your emails? Sure. Having full-on late-night therapy sessions with your chatbot girlfriend named Luna? We need to talk. Because this stuff is actually getting kind of dangerous. There have been several articles lately about how people's relationships with their AI therapists and girlfriends is leading them into psychosis, conspiracy theories, delusions of grandeur, all kinds of dangerously cuckoo stuff. And even the CEO of ChatGPT's maker OpenAI recently said that AI is not trustworthy and that everything it tells you should be taken with a grain of salt. Artificial intelligence can be helpful, but when you're calling your chatbot the only one who understands me, babe, the word artificial is right there in the name. Talk to a person. Put in the effort to make a human connection. Number 9, cosplay. Cosplay can be cool in the right setting. There's nothing like people who are passionate going all out and expressing themselves. Comic-Con? An absolute ball. We love seeing people's fandom take the form of an elaborate getup on social media. But much like fanfiction, cosplay often goes in, let's say, very private directions, which is great, no judgments, but it's a little strange sometimes to be privy to it. And even without that element, it can seem a little odd when a grown man or woman is this into playing dress-up. You definitely should not care that people are judging you. Do what makes you happy. But you probably are getting a little side-eye. Number 10, taxidermy. Okay, I want to be respectful, but why is there a raccoon in a waistcoat on your bookshelf? If I see one more glass-eyed squirrel pose like it's playing poker, I'm filing a restraining order. Actually, scratch that. Those are both very hilarious. Legal filings withdrawn. However, the fact that this whole hobby explicitly involves animal death, I mean, it's ever so slightly giving the kid who used to hurt animals as a child and then grew up to be like the perp in a true crime documentary. You surely have nothing but good and normal intentions, but a lot of us can't help but think about how you might potentially kidnap us in our sleep. Like, is this a hobby or a villain origin story? I'm just asking questions. And finally, number 11, extreme couponing. Ugh, boy. Okay, yes, this is a whip-smart way to save money, and we stand a frugal queen or king. Slash that grocery bill. However, your garage full of 75 years worth of extreme coupon deodorant you will never live long enough to use? It's kind of strange. It's weird. It just is. And more importantly, if you've ever been behind an extreme couponer at the supermarket holding up the line with 87 paper coupons and a binder full of barcodes, respect the hustle, but I'm just trying to get out of here before my ice cream melts. So yeah, if you do any of these hobbies, people are probably quietly judging you. But here's the thing, so what? Let them judge. You're not hurting anyone, with the possible exception of the possibly homicidal impulses obscured by your taxidermy habit. Otherwise, do what makes you happy, even if the Gen Z kids might say that it's cringe. Just, maybe keep these to yourself on a first date or whatever. These are more like 3 or 4 dates in conversations. Okay, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone whose doll collection definitely needs a blessing from an old priest and a young priest. Thanks for watching YourTango.